So you get quite a few visitors, do you?
Oh yes, an awful lot. And then, because I kind of quit traveling very much myself.
Yes.
And
I guess after so many years it gets a bit tiring.
Pardon?
Hey.
That's just a little down the. I've got enough of this that you can look at it for months and months, but it doesn't amount to very much. Hey, here's old String Bean's picture when he played with me.
Really?
When he was playing with me,
That's marvelous.
And that's my picture playing handsaw, and it run the Sears Roebuck catalog for 5 years.
Really? I think I've seen this photograph
yeah.
actually. Didn't they use this on your album, I believe?
Uh-huh.
Really nice.
There's some of the up to Wolf Trap
Oh,
Park
Wolf
and all
Trap
those
Park,
things.
yes, yes.
Now here's some real old stuff. There's my
With
Doc Roberts trio, Martin and Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it makes me awful sad to tell you, on August the 4th, Doc passed away.
Did he really?
That broke up the only team in the world that recorded in 19 and 26, and all of them were living. And James, that's his son, and while I didn't know it when I went to Louisville to play on the fiddle pad, I couldn't even play it, but they didn't tell me about it. But he was heading a list over them, a number like that, and that was one of the big hits.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those tracks, Prisoner 999, 99 years.
7 Years, The Wrong Woman.
That's right.
And all that. That just happened to be of our old scrapbook. I don't know how. It's when I retired from radio in 1942, I didn't think I'd ever be interested in it anymore, and I tried to forget it.
Try to forget.
But I went to Armco Steel, and they put me in charge of all their talent shows all over the country.
Yes.
And even went to Europe a time or two for them and put on talent shows. And so when I came back, a lot of my old friends got to coming down and visiting. We got playing a little, and I didn't even have an instrument cue or anything like that. And so we got started again. But now that's some of the old shows. And what I was going to tell you, I don't know how come he'd say this stuff, but I had a large tobacco barn on the other farm on down in Clark County.
Yeah.
I have a large farm down there. And I just keep bringing fan mail in when it's on radio and just dump it in barrels and things, just to get so much of it.
Really?
And I don't know, I always loved it. I loved every card I ever got, or ever a compliment. I even loved the criticism. I got plenty of that too. Thought it made me better. And I just happened to, I thought I'd burn it up one day. Because we're going to do a little work on the barn, I got to look through this. I said, Lord of mercy, I got to keep some of this.
Sure.
And I bet you there's been hundreds of people coming all over the country to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now there was my roundup on, I run that show there. This is me, and I run that entire show there for about 3 years. Of course, they changed from time to time.
Yeah. What years would that have been, Asa?
That's in 1934 up to about 37.
34, 37.
And
what station is that? What station?
that's WLAP in Lexington.
WLAP.
Then I was also in at WHS for quite a while. And now there's the way we used to advertise in the theater, you see. And
well, this is when you're playing between shows, is that right? When they showed the film?
We'd book the theater maybe 50-50 with my group, and they'd show the picture, and we'd come in for about a 30-minute program.
I wish they did that nowadays.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It really would.
I guess I was one of the first. I don't mean knock on wood. You'll think I'm bragging a lot, but I'm a pretty old man, and started early. But I was about the first to start that kind of stuff.
Really?
And I even played schoolhouses. When we get my group together, people love music, we'd charge 10, 15 cents, something like that. But anyhow, money was pretty valuable then.
Of course.
And so I got it started, and so it just continued on. Now there's Doc and I when we were on WHS. That's the one that died recently.
Yeah.
And we were there, and
When did you actually start playing, Asa? How old were you?
Well, really, I haven't stopped until last year. I'm trying to stop. In fact, I stopped in 1942, and I just put up every instrument I had, and I never touched one.
Yeah, but when did you actually start? When was your beginning?
Start playing? Mm-hmm. Well, I started in vaudeville in 1918.
1918.
I had just domestic shows. I was attending medical school.
Yes.
And trying to get enough money to go through, and so I got a good break from the RKO big circuit, and my brother and I did, and I got out of medical school, never did finish, and I just kept on in music, and of course it wasn't long until vaudeville began to fade, with the advent of talking pictures and all of that, and so there's been so many changes in the musical game. So I've got, my mother was a music teacher. I was raised about 10 miles near Winchester. And she was from Germany. Her people were from Germany, and all the girls in those families would learn music, and the boys would learn some kind of business. So she taught the children around, of course, naturally her own children. We'd gather around, and she liked the old-time mountain music, and we had so many transit workers that had come through from time to time to work on that large farm. There's 1,700 acres of it. And
this was your farm?
It was my father's farm.
Your father's farm, yes.
And so she liked these old songs, and that's where I learned so many of them. That from those people come in, that each one have a different old-time song, like Wild Bill Jones and Knoxville Gal, Pretty Polly, and hundreds of songs like that. And she liked them too, and she liked the 5-string banjo. And so that was where I learned all of that music, and what I was trying to make. When our popular music and vaudeville work faded out, well, then I had to hunt a different type of stuff. I worked in orchestras a while, and that was getting all bit dull too, because each theater used to have a orchestra in the pit all the time for the silent pictures. And when talkies came in, that run the musicians everywhere. So I'd get into one orchestra and another and play there. And finally I met this gentleman here. He won all the fiddling contests anywhere he ever went.
What year would that be?
That was in 1924.
24.
No, 1925. Latter part of 1925. I stayed along about December. And through a barber friend of mine in Winchester, I met him, and I really went to hear him play, because I'd heard of Doc Roberts. He won all the contests everywhere he ever went. He's a very quiet man. And Mr. Mahan, the barber, made me acquainted with him and says, I said, I know you want to meet Doc Roberts. I said, yes, that's what I came for, to hear him win another contest tonight. And he said, well, I might not win. And so he shook hands with me. And so Cliff said, now, Doc, you need a guitar player. Here's one of the best ones I ever saw. And he said, do you play a guitar? I said, well, I'll play that one a little bit. So he says, well, doggone, I need one tonight. My guitar player's not with me. And says, I need a guitar player. And so I picked up a guitar there, and we played 2 or 3 tunes. He says, say, you've got something different on the guitar than what I've ever heard. Said, they usually just make 3 chords, and says, you put in a little more. I said, well, am I doing too much? Oh, no. I said, don't think so. And so we went and we won the contest on the fiddle and guitar, and then I won the contest on the guitar. And there's a Jewish boy and girl, Friedmans. They were very fine musicians and good friends of mine. And we just all on the spur of the moment formed a band for a band contest with Doc in it, and we won that because we won the sweepstakes. Then Doc told me they'd been after him to record some old-time fiddle records Jeanette had. And asked me if I'd like to go with him. I didn't have anything else to do. I said, yes, I'd be glad to go. So I got started in recording in 1926 that way. We were in the very early days of old-time fiddling. And we didn't do nothing but instrumentals for a while. And finally they wanted a little vocal, and we took another fellow because I was singing poplar songs all the time. I didn't think I'd go. But they wanted this song called The Knoxville Girl, which I'd been teaching this boy, Ted Chestnut. And so Ted was having little problems with it. And hummed it over 2 or 3 times, and the recorder was listening. He says, "Hey," he says, "why don't you sing that?" Says, "You sound fine." Says, "You sound better than Chestnut." I said, "Oh, don't make me feel good." He said, "Yeah, go ahead and do it." Well, Ted said, "Yeah, I wish you would." Says, "I don't believe I'll ever learn that." Some way he couldn't get the expression he wanted.
Yes, yes.
And he had an old drummy, dull kind of voice, which is just fine for love songs.
Yes.
So I went and done the number, and it made a good hit.
Uh-huh.
And from then on, I was made in the old time singing. So I continued on.
Where was it you actually met Doc Roberts? Whereabouts was that first meeting with Doc
Winchester,
Roberts?
Winchester, yes,
Kentucky,
about 12 miles from here.
Mhm.
And so, there's, there's a lot of this stuff that just mostly I have a write-up there from the New York Daily World and several places in this whole book, but you wouldn't have, I know you wouldn't take time to look through all that.
That's really nice to keep.
And if you had a lot of time sometimes, there's a on
Oh, yes, that's
that's on Round the Record, I think.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one I have.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, in fact, the magazine that it came from often
Yes.
record reviews.
And I got a lot of write-ups. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to take up your time with this unless you're interested.
No, really.
But I might show you a few of. Now, I was in all the magazines like that back in the old days. And,
That's really nice.
It's in there somewhere, Asa Martin and the Morning Roundup. That's the way they advertise their shows and everything. But now this is real old stuff here, very antique
yes,
stuff.
I can see that.
And
It's good that you've hung on to this.
yes, it was just lucky.
Yeah, there it is.
Now here's some I doubt if you've ever saw, because even a lot of the people have come around. Have you ever seen the way they used to release the records in the old days?
Yes.
And, record releases of the old days.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few of them here. I wish I'd have kept a lot of them.
Really?
And
Oh, yeah.
wait a minute, I think that's releases. Is there none? No, there's where my gang and Renfro and Battle of Music, that's Clayton McMitchen's gang and the Georgia Wildcats.
Oh, yes, yes.
Georgia Wildcats. Now that's what we'd do once in a while. We'd go jointly, make out like we were having a big contest.
Yes.
Oh, we'd draw people from all over the country for miles, hundreds of miles, to come see this Battle of Music. They thought we were going to almost fight, but we'd get up and each one do our show, and they were pleased with that. And then,
This was between your band and between Mitchell's band, yes.
And then John Laird was a pretty good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of time why he'd put Renfro Valley against my group. Now,
Yes.
I considered that honor. He had all the publicity on me. He had national hookups.
Yes.
But I had the talent. I had better talent than he did. He'll tell you that today. And I let him have his talent all the time.
Yes.
I let him have the Coon Creek Girls and let him have many, Granny Harp and all that. So there, where we did now, we split 50-50. He'd bring his entire Renfro Valley gang, and I'd take my entire Roundup gang.
Uh-huh.
And that ain't exactly what I was looking for.
If you wouldn't mind, Asa, we'd like to copy those. We have a camera with us.
Yes, that's why
We'd copy those.
I'll be glad to do it, yes. And if you'd like to make that, just lay them over there where you want to. And I'm trying to find those record releases because here was running a morning roundup gang. They made a personality album. That's a very big busy station at that time. All these people were working there. And I just get to my group, which is what I'm interested in.
Yes, of course.
Now that was our main studio at WLAP, Studio A, where I put on most of my programs. And now here's my group.
Oh, yeah.
And it gives you a little history on the morning roundup and me personally there in person. And
See, you wanted to study medicine, so you were studying medicine, so
yes,
that line in the song about going down to be a
That's
doctor
right,
in Tazewell, Tennessee.
that's right. And when I got into music, Well, I tell you, now my father, there's 3 or 4 doctors in our family.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And in those days, the doctor didn't have it like he's got it now. He had a pretty rough time, although they made good, but that is my desire to be a doctor.
Yes.
And still is, I wish I'd done it.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, my father wanted me to be a farmer. He had 3 sons who wanted to be farmers,
Yes.
and neither one of us wanted to be farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, one of them was the president of the largest bank in the state of Kentucky when he retired, and he died recently. I'm the only one left. The other one was sang in the Maple City Four and sang all the vaudeville in the country. He and
So
I
another
were
of your
together.
brothers was a
Yes.
musician too, yes?
So we didn't go into farming, and so I wanted to study medicine. I didn't have enough money. My dad wouldn't have to because he wanted me to be a farmer. Now that was a nice write-up in the Courier Journal. There's about a 2-page write-up there.
Oh, that's lovely, yeah.
The guiding light. And
They still won't leave you alone then.
Pardon? Yes,
People still won't leave you alone.
that's right. And there's the newspaper, Asa Martin still has his memories. Oh, I got enough of that to just.
Well, I hope you don't mind us coming down, Asa.
Oh,
because,
not a bit in the world. What part of England are you from?
We're from London.
London?
Yes.
Yes. I've had 3 chances to go to London, to England, and by golly, I've had to miss every one of them.
Really?
I went to Poland, and I've been to Australia, been to Japan.
Been to Australia and Japan?
And I'd give anything to go over to England. But something would happen that I'd be booked up or tied up somewhere when they'd be calling on me to go. And I had 3 chances to go. And, there's something in here about that. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
Now here's a little discography of the songs I've recorded, the number that I'd recorded. That's for the Rounder was the last album.
Yes.
They just wanted to do that for memory. This is a full, complete discography of
It's a complete
all my
discography of
numbers.
stuff.
I recorded over 500 numbers.
Really?
And it tells you the dates that were recorded and the companies that were recorded for and everything. And it might interest you to know if you're at Berea, they have a complete list of all of that on in file there, and they also have practically all of the records on tape that I recorded.
That's at Berea.
They have at Berea in their library, and they also have 3 years tapes of the last live radio program that was run commercially, and we done that.
Oh,
and they call that Asa Martin and the Cumberland Rangers.
That's really marvelous.
Now that's all over. See, that's the years of recording in that 1933. That's in that place. And
how did the record companies treat you, Asa?
on royalties most of the time, just and it was pretty good. Of course, not anything like it is now.
No, of course
but,
not.
It was pretty fair. We done pretty well. Didn't have much kick on my recording. I know a lot of times I think I wasn't getting enough.
Yes.
But there's more than you get out of anything else. So I just stayed with my recording. My friend Strain, he used it quite a bit. Perhaps you've all heard it, and I won't do it very good. We'll do it the best I can, always did. And I'd like you people out there just to join in the chorus if you'd like to. And so here we go. Well, up, down, 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 in the kitchen. Down, 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 in the kitchen. Down, 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 in the kitchen. That old cook, she was round in the kitchen. Yes, sir. Well, a hot, cold, bring along the Davy John. Hot, cold, bring along the Davy John. Hot, cold, bring along the Davy John. Fire well, a little John, I'll meet you in the morning. Yes, sir. the beehive, picking on the honey, preacher in the pulpit, taking in the money, and shooting, shouting, and singing for joy. Happiest lot of people that I ever saw. Yes, sir. With a hot corn, cold corn, bring along the Davy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along the Davy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along the Davy John. Patty, well, my little gal, I'll meet you in the morning. Yes, sir. Now everybody sing this chorus with me, will you? Come on, Johnny and youngin', Johnny. With a hot corn, cold corn, bring along the Davy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along the Davy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along the Davy John. Very well, my little gal, I'll meet you in the morning. And now Doc Roberts, he was never a person to travel. He would never, he'd go out and stay a week or two, and that's all he'd do.
Yes.
He'd get homesick and want to come home.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a family, and I had to keep going.
Yes.
I had to keep making money all the time,
Yes.
so I just kept on, and that's the reason why I had so many different groups.
Yes.
And I also had a lot of different recording groups besides Martin Roberts.
You did?
And yes, you'd find them in there, and,
Uh-huh.
and like this last one now, this I got a different group. I had the Cumberland Rangers work with me on that.
Yes.
Thanks to the boys that I've been playing with for a few years.
What about the musicians that you used on the Rounder album? Are they still playing? Do you still play with them?
Yes, most all of them play. We meet up down here all usually on Thursday night. That's what they play by more than anything. Now here's the group I had back in Iceland. Like this antique stuff. There's the entire group that I had in Iceland.
That really was.
There's a morning roundup in Iceland. Roundup gang, you call
It's
it.
amazing.
Now here's yes, that's in Iceland. I have one also. And you see, I'd send them out when people would write in.
Yes.
We just mailed back a card with the pictures on it. And then I had advertising like that. That was like most of the girl band there.
Yes.
And
This is fantastic that you've kept all these.
oh yeah, here's my roundup gang at WLAP, and you see that run for 3 years down to Lexington. Then I went up. There's Rachel old Gene gave me the last time we were together. Last time we played together, Gene Autry.
You played with Gene Autry?
Yes, I played quite a bit with Gene down. In fact, played 3.5 months with him down to Louisville when he was down there. That's when he first started in pictures and didn't go so good.
Really?
And besides, they sent him down there, and he stayed on a while and went back and made another one. Got Smiley in on it. Smiley Burnett.
Yes.
And that made him.
So it was really Smiley Burnett that made Gene Autry?
Yes, indeed. Art Sadley was a great man. I believe this might be a telegram from him. I don't know. I've got a lot of them. And by the way, he's still living nowadays.
Is he really?
He's still living. He's one that made all of us, to be honest about it.
Yeah.
And that's just to cancel the program. I have to cancel the program.
How old would he be now then?
Art must be, well, I imagine he's around 80 at least.
Really?
I'm 78.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize
And
that.
so he's a little older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I have telegrams from him and letters. I even have letters he wrote me in longhand. And by the way, we had a big reunion out at year before last, I believe it was, out in at UCLA in California. And Art was there. Roy Rogers, Gene, and Smiley was dead, of course, that time, and several of the other old guys who all played with him. You talk about having a time, we really did go with there.
Gene Autry when I used to play.
Been out there a couple of days.
No, no problem.
That Gene gave me that next. No, I said that the last time. Well, that was the last time I played with him. When I was playing with him, he called me into let's see, Illinois.
Really?
I wanted to play a week with him up there, and so I went up there and played, and he gave me that picture. And
When would that be, Asa?
by gosh, I'd say about 19 and, oh, about 1937 or 38,
37,
something like that.
yeah.
I'd have to guess at a lot of this.
Yes, yeah.
I could get the exact dates, but just to be accurate, I'm a lot of times corrected when
Yes.
I say these things.
Yes, yes.
Because I just,
Memory plays tricks.
yeah, because I can't remember all those.
That's understandable.
Mhm.
So much happening.
Will you be here tomorrow morning?
Pardon?
Will you be here tomorrow morning?
I think so, maybe.
I feel I'm not doing justice. The light is going very quickly.
Yes,
Would it be possible to photograph them tomorrow
tomorrow.
morning?
I think so. About what time? Now I have.
To
I
suit
don't-
you, really.
Yeah, and I know where you are now.
Yeah. Now I don't think I have anybody come to work tomorrow as bad as I want them to.
Mhm.
But we can set a time. We'll say, well, it's usually foggy up till about 9 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you can come here. You can come. Well, you know where this is. Or you can come down to my home either one, but it don't.
Well, we'll come up to here, I think.
Well, that's
now that
that's
we know
fine.
where it is.
Mhm.
Yes.
Now, the other made last year, but I hadn't added this on. It looked a little better than it did then. I just had 2 rooms back there.
I see. Yes.
And yes, sir, I believe it. Yeah, 77. They came up from WHAS and WAVE,
Mhm.
a radio station, a TV station, and made a 15-minute tape of here. I was sitting out talking on the porch, and all the work is going on out there and everything. And they showed that all the time. Let's see now. Yeah, this discography. I try to keep kind of straight as we
Yeah,
can.
I think that was in there, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I believe that's just the one right here that they throw in. I was trying to find those releases. I had them out here the other day, showing to that fella here, and he had never saw any of those old releases.
No.
And we can turn a light on here. You can't see it.
No, it's okay.
I'm not
isn't
that
it?
stingy to.
No, no, that's all right.
No, it's just for the.
I'm
take
just
the
too lazy to get
photograph.
it turned on. Let's see, I don't know. Those probably were in here, I guess. Yeah, I think, no. These were in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we'll just put them all back and
Right.
you can make them. And if there's anything else you want, I have a lot of, I have thousands of pieces of.
Were all of these in there?
Yeah, just one like that, that'll be all right then. Now that'll be all right, to leave it as is. And let those these in too, I think they go there. Don't make a difference, take them out every time anybody comes, I never get it back right. I'm not much of a on filing thing like I should.
So much you have it.
And I have at home, did you ever see the old test records, how they used to, when we first began to record, they'd make them on a real big, they didn't record then on tape like they do now.
No, no.
They record on wax. And then they'd get the impression from that wax
Yes,
and press the record.
yes.
And then the first one they'd press would be real thick. I don't know why they did that, just one side.
Yes.
Then they'd send one of them to the artist, one of each copy that they decided they wanted to keep to see if we liked it.
I see.
And I have a lot of them up on.
Really?
And there's very few of them. In fact, I have one there that have been over $500 for it. That's a number called Hot Coin.
Oh, yes, yes.
And Shorty Hobbs and I recorded that in 1932. We're the first ever recording. That's my number. Although a lot of people claimed it, but I still get the royalties. And so
This is hot corn,
that's-
cold corn. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so string beans used an awful lot.
Yes.
I let him have that.
Uh-huh.
And so Earl Scruggs, Lester Flat and Earl Scruggs,
Yes.
they got a copyright on by changing the name to Hot Corn, Cold Corn. We just called it Hot Corn.
That's right.
So I went down. I didn't care so much for the money that they had in it, but it made me about half sore. And I found out
Yes.
that they'd got some string, and string would have done that for nothing in the world. And they used his name on it too.
Really?
And I went and told the string. I said, "String, let's go down to IBM." And so went down, run through, and boy, it made him so mad like he couldn't see. And then called Earl Scruggs, and Earl says, "My God, I didn't know that either." Says Lester done that. They didn't get along too good
No,
anyhow.
that's right. Yeah.
And so he said, "Ace," says, "I'll be right up there." And so we waited there at the IBM office, and he come up, And he called Lester Fletcher, come on down here, I want to talk to you. Lester come, he didn't want to release it.
Really?
I know. I said, well, go ahead, Lester, just keep it on. I want you to collect some royalties on that anyhow. And he said, we've done collected some. I said, I know it. I said, you can keep it now. I said, since you acted that way, I wasn't going to say a word. I didn't care for the money, but the name. And I still don't. And Strange said, well, I'll go home and get what, oh, yeah, I said, I wouldn't let you pay me at all.
No.
And Earl Scruggs says, he'd done called his wife and told her to check that up and see how much. Well, he owed me about $700. And of course, that had been the same all the way around. Well, Lester said, well, I'll do it. I'll just pay you. I said, no, I don't want a nickel off you boys at all, but do get my name back on there.
Yes.
And he said, well, we'll do it. So we changed it back again.
Uh-huh.
I said, that's all I wanted, just because I'm still getting mine in here.
Yes, yes.
But Lester was no such a man as Earl. Old Earl Scruggs are good guys.
Really?
Was.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing against Lester either. I don't mean
Mm-hmm.
that he's not all right, but he's just a little different type of mandate.
Yes.
Sure. And let's see. Let me turn the light on here just a minute.
Can I be taking a few photographs of you, which I
Pardon?
can use the flash? Can I be taking a few photographs of you while you're talking?
Yes,
I can use the flash for that.
Okay, that'd be all right.
Fine.
Yes, it'll be fine. I'll get some of these other things out not have something you'd be interested in. I don't know.
Is this time of the year, Asa?
Hmm?
Is it usually this warm this time of year?
Yes, it
really?
is. Oh, listen, here's something. I'll show you. That's not my band by any means. I wish it was, but it's my nephew, Rome Johnson. I don't know whether you ever heard of
Rome
him.
Johnson, I know the name.
Yeah, he's with the Sons of the Pioneers.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. And
He's your nephew?
he's my nephew.
Uh-huh.
The other day, he sent me these pictures here. I wrote and asked him to send me some. I hadn't had none for a long time. And he wrote me on. Yeah, there it is. That's Rome there. And there's a little letter from me. He
Uh-huh.
wrote me, too.
Did Rome get his guitar lessons from you?
Pardon?
Did Rome learn guitar from you?
Partly.
Yes.
Partly, but Rome is a very fine singer, and he's a very fine guitarist, too.
Really? Yeah.
And Roy had come up to visit him up to Golden Nugget when he opened up that. Roy Rogers. It's
Yeah.
over in there somewhere. The picture of that is. I thought you meant.
Was Rome...
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Roy
Oh,
Rogers,
there's Roy, yeah.
Rome, and Dale Warren, I think.
Was Rome always with them? With the
Pardon?
sons, was Rome always with the Sons of the Pioneers?
That's where he got his start, with the Sons of the
Really?
Pioneers.
And he's been with them ever since?
And he claims that was his first big break,
Uh-huh.
getting to sing with them. There's not many groups like them.
No, very few indeed. I can remember those going to the cinema Saturday afternoon and
Yes,
seeing Roy Rogers with the Sons of the Pioneers.
they're very, very wonderful. I think Bob Nolan was a great songwriter in the
Yes.
group, and he deserved more credit, I guess, than the other singer Warren.
Yeah.
But of course, Rome has come later on that, because he was with Trailblazers for a long time with the Henry Ford band before. Then he quit, like myself. He quit for about 12 years, quit playing altogether, then came back and got that back up to the top of the ladder again.
When would that be that he was with the Henry Ford band?
Oh, back in about 37, I believe,
37,
something like 37, And
Where was that band based?
I played up at Dearborn, Michigan. That was the headquarters,
Mm-hmm.
Dearborn. And Rome was playing with me at the time. He and the Soulsby brothers, that's the Trailblazers, had been down to WLW, and they came up to Ashland to play with me for a while.
Uh-huh.
And they heard him play on a hookup that I was going on Mutual Network.
Yes.
And this fellow liked Rome singing, and we didn't know. You get all kinds of silly offers.
Mm-hmm.
He came up and asked me, could he talk to Rome about a job with the Ford band. I said, well, certainly, go ahead. I didn't have too much for him to do. And so he went to talk to Rome. Rome didn't even consider it. He's used to all them kind of offers.
Really?
So Oh, yeah, here's what I want to show you. Then he went on and told the fellow, said, well, says, I don't know what I'd be interested in. Now, well, when he got back to Dearborn, he sent a telegram to the station to me. Said, please try to get that Rome Johnson to make me an offer on how much he will come here for. And I told Rome, I said, Rome, this is a good break for you. I said, offer to go for $300 a week, and that's a lot of money there.
Yes, yes.
And tell him to send your expenses. And so I sent a telegram back, and in an hour's time, nearly, the money come for him to come on. So he went up there, and he had to leave the other boys, but eventually he pulled them in.
Yes.
And they worked there for a long while, and one of them had a habit of getting fired every once in a while, the one that he drank a little too much.
Yes, yes.
And Rome and the other one didn't. So they came back, and he came back to WLW, and of course there's wanting Rome bad back there.
Mhm.
And so then they finally got Rome to come back on account of being close to his home.
Yes.
And so he worked there a while, then he wrote that Waltz to the Winds and several nice songs like that. And he's been a very fortunate boy, and one of the nicest persons you ever met.
When did he join the Sons of the Pioneers?
Pardon?
When did he join the Sons of the Pioneers?
What did he do? He's a lead singer,
Yes, but-
usually soprano.
Sorry, what year did he go with
Oh, really? I don't know. It hadn't been too long.
No.
I'd say about 74.
Really?
I do have it up at the home,
them? Yes.
where I have a statement in the Los Angeles newspaper
Oh, yes.
about Rome Johnson had joined and took Lloyd Perriman's place.
Uh-huh.
And Lloyd was lead singer then, because Lloyd had lost his health and he didn't live but just a short while afterwards. And it tells the date there. I forget just what it does. It might be longer than I think. Time goes pretty fast for me anymore.
Everybody has a habit of doing that, doesn't it?
You're a lot faster than you used to. Dad used to tell me there'd be days like that, but I didn't know that.
You didn't believe him?
I didn't know that you're so fast. Oh, yeah, here's those record releases. Now, see, this is on the Perfect record. You can see in there that I'll unravel it for you here if I can. Just try to show you that the amount of records we had. I didn't place you see a dot that is some of our records, and we're all through that.
Yes, yeah.
And that was record released and for sale all the time. And,
Yes.
And then here's one that was released in 1930 that Doc Roberts and I sang on Jeanette down on the farm. And that's one of the only two songs that Doc ever sang on record. Here's some of my vocalion.
What was the other song that he sang?
Down on the farm, and the other one was In the Shadow of the Pine.
In the Shadow of the Pine. That's the only two that Doc ever sang?
Yes, that's the only two that Doc ever sang. And now there's my vocalion releases, and here's some more Perfect releases. And
It seems like you must have been in the studio all the time.
Looks like the mouse has been a hold of it.
Yeah.
You see, there's I can't figure it. I better put my glasses back on. And see which is said, put George Riley over the wait a minute. Winning McGee, and there's Martin and Roberts, fiddle and Doc Roberts, Asa Martin. And that's the 99 years and all them down
That's
through
one
there.
I have at home, yes.
Did you have that?
I have that one, yes. That's 78.
You know, that's something funny about that record. I'll give you, I know I talk too much,
No.
but I think of it every time. They called us to New York 21 years ago.
But we have another great fiddler here, Mr. McMitchen's brother-in-law, Mr. Burt Lane. I'm going to let Asa Martin, who's going to play with him, introduce him because he played with these fellows and knew them well.
Thank you very much, Lowell. Thank you very much. And it certainly is a pleasure indeed to introduce my old friend. Come right on out here, Burt Lane. And folks, give him a big hand. I mean a big hand. Yes, sir.
Howdy, folks, howdy. I'm sure glad to be here and see all these good-looking people. I don't think I ever saw so many good-looking women in my life.
That's a true, Bert.
I didn't know that. They look like they just got back from winning the Miss America contest, don't they?
Well,
Yes,
yes.
sir, and I want to tell them that I never saw as many fiddlers as there is back there. There's more of them than there is liars at the Watergate, I'm telling you.
Where's the house?
Come on,
Bert.
Eddie.
Alabama girl, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Alabama gal, won't you come out tonight? We'll dance by the light of the moon. Woo! Go on, man. Play that fiddle, boy. Alabama gal, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Alabama gal, won't you come out tonight? We'll dance by the light of the moon. All right.
Made the greatest hit you ever saw. Bob
Yeah.
Miller wrote that.
Yeah.
And so Art Sadley called me and said, Ace, I've got a number I'm sending to you by airmail.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I want you to learn it and get up here and record it just as quick as you can. And I said, okay. Come down to 99 years. And it was just almost like 21 years.
Really?
Well, I told Doc, I said, my goodness, let's go up. We're going to make a recording anyhow. So we just made that strip and made 20 numbers. And so I went up there and I said, Art, that'll not go. He said, why? It'll be great. I said, no, it won't, because I said, it's too much like 21 years. We're following it too quick.
Uh-huh.
And so he said, well, I don't think so. We'll do it anyhow. So we recorded it, and they took all kinds of pains with making that thing, and we didn't get, for some people, we got sick of it, really. And they made it in 4 or 5 different versions, ways. And then he said, oh, Ace says, we need another prison song to go on the other side. I said, well, my goodness, now you tell me. What, do you think I'm going to reach up and pull one down? He says, oh, you can write one. I said, yeah, but I don't have any inspiration for a prison song right now. I've got 2 words with this one. So he said, oh, can't you do something like behind cold gray walls and having to pay for a crime I didn't do? I said, sure. Change my name, number 999, and I'm wearing the shackles too. I said, all right. I went home and wrote that night, and that's the one that sold the record.
Amazing.
That's funny.
It's always the ones that just
Yeah.
happen in a couple of minutes.
Show you how crazy it was about it. Here, they put it out on them big things like that, and
Marvelous.
all of that, and on record releases like that. There's a champion. That's the Roving Moonshiner. That was my good type along about that time. I done most of that just Shorty Howard, my Roving Moonshiner, and Goodbye Betty.
Yes.
I'd take a parody like on the Roving Jamrad. Moonshiners were very
Yes.
popular at that
Yes.
time. And I'd make Roving Moonshiner when the roses bloom again for the bootlegger and all that
Yes.
stuff. And I thought you'd be interested in
Yeah,
seeing
they're
them
very
old
good.
releases.
Very good, Ace.
And,
really are marvelous.
and
It's good that you've kept them, I think.
well, it is. I wish I'd have kept more of them. I could have kept more of them, but because I had even catalogs of them. Then they'd make a catalog. And this would just be on
That's
in
right.
all the record stores every
Yes,
month.
yes.
These released, so you can just pick them up and look through and hear what you want.
Mhm.
In all the places where you'd go to record store and you'd ask for a number to be played. When you wanted, if you liked it, you bought it.
Yes.
If you had that 75 cents, you didn't, but you usually bought the cheaper ones, 35.
Yes, that's right.
And that's why we didn't get so many of those leading records sold, but the off-brand, as we call them,
Mhm.
that sell for 35 cents, they would sell like
Yeah.
the band. Well, we only got half royalty on them.
Oh,
too.
really? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what hurt.
Well, I guess that 75 cents was a lot
Yeah.
of money then. For
Oh,
people
my
to
goodness,
play.
yes. You know, people in this country here, this is a very prosperous country, as far as farming is concerned.
Yes.
And I've known of them with families working for 75 cents a day.
Really?
And they kept their families reasonably well.
Yes.
Because we didn't have very many automobiles or anything like that. Gas wasn't 70 cents a gallon. No. We did have one. But people didn't go so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when this road was built across here, of course there was a road, not this is a state highway now, and I remember when they dedicated the bridge, because I brought a band up there and played.
Really?
The state governor came down, and
This is for the Red River Bridge
yeah,
here?
for the Red River Bridge, and dedicated that bridge, and I had a band, Happy Chandler was the governor. I was talking to him several months ago.
Really?
I stopped by and saw him down at, he's always an awful good friend of mine. And I asked him to remember, said, hey, I'll never forget that. Says, I saw some of the best dancing I ever saw in my life. The best County people dancing out on that bridge.
Out on the bridge. Marvelous.
And so I thought I heard the best music ever.
When would that have been, Asa? What year would that be?
Let's see. I wish I
Roughly.
knew just exactly.
Well, roughly.
I tell you, we can find out. We can find out from the State Highway Department.
Yes.
I thought about asking. I forgot what year it was myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Chandler was governor then.
Yeah.
And that.
Would it have been in
I
the-
can remember something that happened about 1914 to 30, but since then, the things have gone so fast.
Yes, yes.
That I remember, but I don't remember the dates on them.
Yes, yes.
Don't
That's
recall the
understandable.
dates, and well, you might say, just think, I played, I guess, I don't know how many thousand personal appearances I've played. Some of them that have several thousand people, sometimes that have 25, and or whatever there was. I would never turn anything down if I could possibly get to it. If a community wanted us to come in to
Yes,
play,
yes.
I'd always come, and regardless of the size of it. So that's how come these shows to get so popular. I started out, Edgar Boaz, and we'd record some for Brunswick, and the Brunswick Record Company wanted us to go through the coal field and play the theaters, and they had booked us there in order to advertise the records. And we done pretty well there. Then we came back, and at a lot of the schools, grade schools and high schools, we'd talk to them about, well, let's put on a program here for him, on percentage-wise. And so we got to working all the time. And then finally, Bill Monroe and Charlie, they were together. They done that out of Nashville a little.
Yeah.
They'd been waiting for big bookings out of Nashville, you see. And that's the reason I didn't play at Nashville.
Really?
Because I'd making a lot more money here than I did at Nashville. I went down there and played about 3 months.
Yes.
But I wasn't known there like I was here.
Yes.
And I could go anywhere in the Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and up in there and that's before radio was very strong.
Really? Yes.
And I could just draw the biggest crowd you ever seen. And at Nashville, you had to be there every Saturday night, and that's one of the good nights, and you only got $5 for it. And so that's the reason I didn't stay at Nashville.
Yes, yes.
And I might have done better if I had,
Uh-huh.
because later on, they became more commercialized. We got to drawing on commercials.
Yes.
And if I'd have got a good commercial like Prince Albert, something like that,
That's
I'd
right.
probably done better,
Yes.
made more money. But I'm well satisfied with what I've done, because I got to see where I wanted to see.
Yes.
I'd go back and where they'd never heard of just nothing, only just the old hillbilly music, and in all fields and coal fields and everywhere, and then places big enough to play. And I met wonderful people that way.
How did you travel around the coal fields? I mean, I guess it must have been difficult.
It was very difficult then. Now, when I first went to the coal field, Boaz and I was studying about, that's when we had those theaters booked, we got off at Hazard,
Yes,
Kentucky.
yes.
That was the heart of the coal field.
That's right.
And we had to go up by train, because this road that goes through Route 15, going through there, wasn't anything like finished. And so we just had to depend on taxis and trains to go, to each coal camp. There'd be a passenger train go over to that camp today, and then it'd back. It'd go forward, then it'd back up to the other. So we'd go over on them, and afternoon, and if we had to, if we could make a connection, like going from Haddard over to Blue Diamond, and we'd stay over there that night and play the theater, and sometimes I'd play 2 shows. We made good money.
Yes.
Then the next morning we'd catch the train, go back into our headquarters in Hazard, then we'd go on up and get a taxi and take us to the other places around.
Really?
And believe it or not, that some of those coal camps were so close. I can remember several of them, 3 or 4 of them, times that we'd play one before the show, and then one after the show up there. We'd play 2 theaters in one night.
Really?
Uh, and it's odd that people didn't come from that camp up there down to this one, but they went to their own camps, and there's a reason for it too. They didn't have money; they had script.
Yes.
So we'd had to charge them more, and then we'd take the script and discount it and get the cash for it. Oh, that's going through it in the early days.
Yes, yes. So, did you lose by taking script?
No, because we made the poor miner lose. We charged him more,
Yes.
and ordinarily the general, if you'll notice on into those bills, you'll wonder 15 and 25 cents. Well, that was quite a bit of money.
Yes,
then.
it was. Yes.
Well, instead of charging that, we'd charge 20 and 35.
Yes.
But the miners, well, they didn't mind because they just got the script and they'd
Yes.
come on in. Well, we'd have almost as much of that paper you ever saw, and a little old, some of it's metal and some
Yes.
wasn't.
Yes.
We'd take it and down to the commissary,
Yes.
and they'd cash it in for us by discounting it 10%.
Yes.
In other words, so we come out just about the same. They'd give us cash for it, but the miner lost, you see.
Yes. Yes.
Poor miner always loses.
Yes, he did. Yeah. I understand they're still losing, aren't they?
Pardon?
So it's a tough life.
Yeah, it was in them days, but it isn't now.
No.
They've got it much better now. And some way I can't keep going along with them because I have saw things that just make you feel awful bad. Now, I remember one time we went over to a coal camp called Bonneman. We rode a train over there.
Parliament. Yes.
And there had been 3 men hurt in the mine that day. They were hurt awfully bad, and they were on cots out there, and they couldn't get an ambulance over there to take them to the hospital, and they'd been laying there, and their wives were fanning the flies off of them this hot weather, you know. They're miserable looking camps. They were dirty, and as they would be because coal dust was dirty anyhow. They were nice people, but they didn't, I don't know, they were a different type of people. You had to understand their lingo to get them to like you.
Yeah.
We caught on to that pretty quick. The first one was having a demonstration. My daddy was a gambler and a drunker too. He's been a living today to have the cakewalk blues. Come here, mama, look in my hand. I'm gonna take a bottle of Jake to the promised land. Here's those test records I tell you about. They would send them to us, you see. And I reckon them the only ones in the world anybody knows of. There may be more now, but I've never been able to find any, and no one else has. Now that's one called Shorty Hobbs and I done the Havana River Glide. So I'll show you a type of guitar and mandolin playing that I don't guess you've ever heard very much like it. I'll just cut this off and put it on there and see if we can get a little something from it. I can play better on the stereo in there, but have to sit and hang up with you, Mama, so fare you well. I'll have my Jake in spite of you know. I'm going now, Mama, but you will see. You'll never get another loving papa like me.
Did you know that record's just been released, Asa, on an album?
Has it? Well,
Yes.
I better get me some royalty on there. No, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah. When I get back home, I'll tell you the.
I wish
the
you would.
company.
Who sung it this time? Did you get it from?
Oh, it's yours. It's your 78. It's been
Oh, it
released.
is?
Yes, because
Well, I'd be darned. I'd be happy to.
this is an album of
Mhm.
all songs about Jake.
Yeah. All at Rochester. I had a letter from Rochester School of Medicine.
That's it.
And they was wanting all this information
Yeah.
on there. And when I went into my doctor, my specialist looks after my heart, he said, Ace, I didn't know that you was all up in medical journals so much, and he got that and showed it to me, and they asked me for permission to use it. So
Oh, that's good.
They was writing. Now this is a type of, you're going to find this a little warm in here.
That's all right.
I mean, it's hard to get started sometimes. Trying to make it good, and I never did, but anytime they want to drink, the record comes right and say, hey, can you get that up part? And like that beer party and all that stuff. Yeah. When beer came back into the United States after World War I, and they were allowed to see the country was dry at one time during the war. And when it came back, they wanted something to release on the date of the week, and so I made a big album for it. I have it in here.
That's beautiful.
I know you don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to find something.
What was the title of that again, Asa?
That's Havana River Glide.
Havana River Glide.
Pretty good
Yeah,
mandolin.
that really goes. I don't think that's been reissued, has it?
Pardon?
I don't think that's been reissued.
Not reissued recently, no.
No.
But now I have some records here that's been reissued on Decca, and then I've got some of my old Decca records here. Some of them beautiful waltzes Robertson I played.
Oh, yes, yes.
You ever hear any of our waltzes?
I
Let
can't
me see,
I recall them.
I might find one of them quick here, I don't know. More than likely won't. Hold your net. That came back. San Antonio Road, that wasn't mine. Prisoner number 999, see?
That's the one I've got. Got one of those back in London.
Down on the farm, that's the one I showed you that release on the other day. Would you
Oh,
like
yes.
to hear a little of it?
Yes, I'd like to hear a little of that.
I think maybe Doc sang on this. And the morning glory time, round the cabin footsteps climb. That's Doc Robinson. You like the song I got him singing? Many weary years have passed since I saw road I made quite a hit with that.
And today as I go years, that old home I love so dear, a stranger comes to meet me at the door.
Oh, yes, yes.
From the place there's many a change, and the faces all seem strange. Not a loved one comes to greet me as of yore. For my mother dear is laid neath the elm tree, like
Eastbound train.
where the golden summer sunshine Friday morn. And near the old fort place, there I see a stranger's face, in my father's old armchair down on the lawn. Many weary years have passed since I saw the old place last, and memory did steal o'er me like a charm. Every old familiar place, every kind and loving face, in my boyhood happy home down on the farm.
Was you singing harmony with it?
Oh,
Asa?
yeah. That's, hold
And
on.
to meet me at the door. Round the place there's many a change,
Oh, I
and
made
the
it already more
faces
west
all
and everything already back north.
not a loved one comes to greet me as of yore. For my mother dear is laid neath the elm tree, quite safe, where the golden summer sunshine
I'll tell you some of Doc's fiddling. Would you like to hear
Yes,
some of that?
like to hear that, certainly.
near the old fort place, there I see a stranger.
Yeah, my piano phone. That seems like that was great, too. All of them were as far as that Davis took me a lot, Davis recording company made a reissue,
yes.
and I didn't like it very much. He got all the wrong names and everything on the pictures on there, but he had the right names on the album,
On the album, yes.
and we were disgusted with it, and we asked him not to release anymore.
Uh-huh.
And so, I don't know what he did, and how long he made money, he wasn't out of here. He got a very bad reproduction. Yeah, smooth, he played a fiddle.
Very beautiful, yes.
After reading all the... I'm not going to have time to listen to all of them, but after reading all the colleges and everything were so crazy to get him to come back, but he never would go. He never did make but one appearance, and that's on videotape at Berea, hour and a half appearance, the last program we ever put on. His son and I and him put it on at Berea and had a pretty good program.
Yeah.
The Doc hadn't played the fiddle for years, you know, but he came out and done wonderful.
Really?
So the colleges uses that all over the country. And now, is there any special thing you want to say? I want to try to find popcorn there if we could.
Uh-huh. Well, don't worry, Asa, if it means going through anything. Don't worry about it too much.
Well, and I just wanted to show you the original, the first time it was ever put out, if I could find it. Oh, Lord, there's so much junk to go through here, you see.
Maybe junk to you, but I'm sure collectors would love to get a hold of that.
Here's one maybe Al Carter made with me. Way back down. Now, it's a different type of. I'll just do a little of it. She used all the harp with me on that.
Who is this?
Maybelle Carter.
Maybelle Carter with you?
Yes. I used the harmonic and guitar, I think, and all the harp on that.
Well, I didn't know Mabel had recorded with you. I didn't know that Mabel had recorded with you.
Well, we used to, a lot of us meet up at the same places where we were recording, like the Pop Stoneman.
Yeah, he's the only one I've heard do that.
Pop
Stoneman is the only one I've heard do that number.
Yeah, and so, he got it from me.
Really?
And I got it out of an old book. It's not an original. I have some in there with Doc Hopkins too, and that. I just got all that junk put out here because I'm on the move. A lot of letters here. And
are they 45s you got there, eh?
now here's the way we used to advertise our shows.
Oh, sure. Oh, you must copy those.
Yes.
And
Oh, could Sylvia take those outside, Asa?
oh yeah, I'd like to. Sure. And these would be better, I guess. Just pick out much more. I'll get you a lot of them.
They're beautiful.
There's one bad on between. Would you like to have that?
Yes, certainly. Could we just take this?
And
Sylvia.
there's one I'm sure you'd like to have. If you can get a good copy, that's my group with string beans with me.
Oh, with string beans too?
And just get as many of them as you want to and take.
Fine.
Yeah, that'd be a good one right there.
Yes, okay.
Unless you want to use a soldier or a band, but.
I think, I've actually got a copy of that photograph in,
Okay,
in the album.
just use both of them, yeah?
Okay, fine.
Take it away.
Is that 45 you have there, Asa?
Are
they 45s you have?
Yeah, I'm going to give you one of them. I didn't like this record.
Really?
They've written, Sun Ray made it, and so this is my Cumberland Rangers, but I didn't like the recording, and we didn't try to do anything with it.
I see.
But I'll give you a couple of them if you want them.
Well, I'd like one from editor of the magazine in London. I'm sure he would like a copy. Yeah, that would be fine.
And
would you let me pay you for this?
no, I'll just give them to you because they didn't really cost me anything. The company sent them, and they said we didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it's a fair record, fair recording. I think that's on. Yeah, that's 45. Isn't it?
Yes.
And Walking in the Sleep, that's their old theme song. You've heard that, haven't you?
No, I don't think I have.
Put a little of it
Okay.
on here. And while you get this down to 45, I don't have a play on this. No, I won't work on this.
Oh, don't worry about it then, Asa.
Well, you'll have them there at home. So.
Yeah, I'll be patient, wait till I get home. Be something nice to look back on.
Well, any 45 will play them all right.
Yes.
It would go on, but.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes, indeed. I'll tell you, go ahead and be taking your picture. And here's one I always liked that Shorty Hobbs and I done. One of our numbers that we done, didn't know what we were going to do. We were just sitting in that pit, and they turned the light on for us, and we just started out on this and called the Wildcat Rag. Now, you wouldn't believe that, but that's how good,
really?
how much we were in practice. We just start out, and the recorder asked, I said, what's the title of that? And I looked at the drawing, he looked at me, I said, let's call it Wildcat Rag.
Just like that?
ones that played the light went off up there. And just, I kept following him.
Beautiful.
Right, you're number 8. Right in there hard at Daniel. That collector up in Chicago has such a large collection. He had every one of ours recorded.
Really?
And he went for them, so he recorded them all off the center.
Is it Joe Bussard?
And he signed the titles and everything of them. Just, I've had a lot of good friends that think back in the 50s, things,
Yes.
part of them. Now, a lot of them were under pseudonym names, but he knew them all, and had different brands and everything. And on both sides, they're all on the tape right here.
Very good. Very nice.
All of those, practically all of them, my recordings there, they're just careless well. You see, I'm Asa Martin. Thank you very much, Jim, for telling me that. I'd like to get the one back. Old Tennessee White. Especially, all since that done, he liked it so well, he said it in a special one.
That was fantastic.
We laughed about that a lot of times, Shorty and I did. Wondering what we played, and we just named it, called the Wildcat Rag. So,
Thank you very much, Asa.
you're very
Really
welcome.
nice to hear that.
And here's all kinds of literature, such as everything you can think of in there, and pictures and things way back. But these are special photos. And
You really need a librarian to look after this place.
yes, I should have them in better sequence than I do, but I just don't do it, and I just don't take time to fool with it.
Well, I guess it takes a lot of time anyway.
Yes, it does.
You're still kept busy
And
on
I'm
other
not
things.
as much interested in it as I used to be. And but all of that is history of country music.
Well,
all of this, everything in here is.
I'm pleased to know that you're interested enough to keep it anyway.
If you know just what you want, I can find it practically anywhere. And, very old papers. There are lots more tapes. And
That's
so,
fantastic, yes.
it's an awful lot of trouble for me to go through them, but I do it sometimes.
Yeah.
They'll let me know a week or two ahead.
Yes. No, well, we just plan to call in and see you and not put you through much trouble. And
That's all right. It's no trouble.
we're very pleased that you've taken the time to spend with us. It's
And
really
so
appreciate
I'm
it.
just happy to do it. By the way, if you'd like to, I'd like to while we're here, the boy that played the button, he's world renowned. He played the rest full band for many years, and after I quit playing, and I have his picture his sister sent to me,
Yeah.
he and I together.
Uh-huh.
You might want to take a copy of this.
Yes, okay.
Shorty Hobbs. His.
Winning.
Will it be okay with you, Asa? We'd like to put copies of these with the magazine in London.
Oh, it'd be
the
all right.
Country Music
Would you
magazine.
send me one?
Yes, certainly.
I'd certainly be happy to get it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Actually, the editor of the magazine is in Nashville for 3 months. He's working down on a discography of country music.
Yeah.
So he's over from England for 3 months.
Oh, here is a recording that the Library of Congress went crazy about. They wanted me to make something with a square dance was called.
Really?
And I got an old banjo player. He was a Mormon minister, and his brother to do these numbers. And I called a set on him. He played the banjo left-handed upside down.
Really?
And I want to show you some old-time banjo player. Would you like to listen
Yes,
to that?
lovely.
Right there. Now, they just got up the Library of Congress and remade it.
Uh-huh.
There, the archives of sound, and re-recorded, and they sent me several copies of it. That's the only one I got left. But this is real old-time fiddle and banjo playing for the old type square dance stuff. Let's see what. That's real old-time banjo playing. I made a special trip to New York to make that one recording.
Hello there, boy. Ain't y'all got this old dance started yet? What's the matter? Ain't out on the floor. Hello there. Where's your old
That's all
guitar?
right.
Boy, I said the fella come down the creek here and smash it. All he keeps stepped on the slick rock. Well, that sure is tough luck. Yeah, pretty bad, but not so bad either. I haven't taken a song and a half on it. Oh, well. I'll tell you what you boys do. Now, you all just go ahead with the fiddle and bang it. And let me dance tonight, and I'll call the set, and I'll get them all out here on the floor. We'll soon get this thing started. Now, you play that old favorite out of mine, hook and line. Let her go, boys. Now, move out, children. Step on it, children. Get out of them corners. Come on out here. Let's go. All right, now. Turn to the left and swing your partner. First couple of doors. And walk the hall. Walk the hall it used to do. Walk the hall and cut off here. Now swing your partner. Walk the hall like you did before. Walk the hall and cut off.
I wasn't a very good caller, but it went over pretty good.
Swing your partner.
That's the old-time way of calling. You called it slow so everybody could completely finish the figure, you see. They dance hard to those. Did you ever hear banjo play and fiddle played together like that?
Only on record, on Just West.
Now, he played that left-handed, and tuned it just like that. It looked like he's playing upside down. He played that same thing down there.
What was his name, Asa?
Just Hatton. He was a Mormon minister.
Just Hatton.
Wonderful person. And that is his brother playing the fiddle, Burtner Hatton. They both passed away. His son, Burtner's son, was up to see me about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and he's a very fine fiddler.
Really?
And he came up and said, I want to play the guitar. He wanted to play beside me one more time. And so we sat down there and played about half a day, and I enjoyed it very much.
Very good.
Now I'm going to cut this over and give you the other side.
Yes, fine, okay.
And you want to finish that on out?
Finish it if you like, if that's right. Yeah.
Now, I was telling him, but he said, that's Covered in Rangers. I didn't like that record. You probably like part of it, but somehow I didn't like the recording. But they sold a lot of them before I stopped. And I asked them to stop, and they sent me about 4 or 500 of them here. They told me to sell them, and I never would take them out to sell.
No.
Because there's one little place in there where they didn't get the stereo on it right.
I see.
That's all right.
Again, and we'll all go home after. Let us go first.
Ain't that pretty?
Let us off, boys.
That's
Come on, gentlemen.
playing like that.
Yes.
Won't have it under a week. All hands up and press away.
I tell you what, you leave me your address. I'll promise you this. It'll be a long time, maybe next week. I'll draw you a tape of that off and send it to you.
It'd be very nice if you would, Asa.
My equipment's all down. I'll take it over to Bria or somewhere where they've got, a lot of my friends got good equipment. I'll get them to draw that off and send it to you.
That would be very nice if you would. I'd
I'll put
appreciate
it on a good stereo so
Yes.
it plays. I played on the stereo in there just like it's right in the studio.
All back to and play. All back to and play. All back for and play.
Some other different, another style I was looking for. I wanted to show you that fast pigeon that I done,
Yes.
like Hot Sauce Mom and all them.
Yes.
Well, I don't know where that's around there. Somewhere too.
I love that banjo.
I do too. I'm crazy about that. And if you'd seen him take it, it would amaze you just how he did it. And never missed a note in it. That's the only time I ever heard a fiddle and banjo played both in the lead.
Yes.
That one didn't pick the other's notes up.
Yes.
Ordinarily, you take the banjo, will pick the fiddle notes and it'll go vice versa.
Yes.
But yeah, it hurts you how smooth it is. But they play together all their lives.
Beautiful.
Two brothers. That they said that sold over 100,000 copies way back in the old days.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That was some song.
We got a good royalty.
Were they from Kentucky? They were from Kentucky?
Yes, they were. Kentucky from Bass County.
Which
I
county?
knew all the musicians from Bass County up near Waynesville, but they lived in Clark County at that time.
Uh-huh.
They were just tobacco farmers. Very fine people. And the other donated to build a Mormon church in Winchester. He built it himself.
Uh-huh.
He was of that faith. And they were wonderful people. I met a lot of Mormons. They're very nice people.
Yes, yes.
I don't pay attention to religion because I don't have any idea of what a person should be or nothing like that,
Mhm.
so I'm not much myself. But nevertheless, they were very fine people.
You certainly play well. It's fantastic.
I'm glad I got to hear that one because I think, the Library of Congress spent a lot of time on that to get it, and so they've now they wanted to re-release that one again,
Yeah.
and I never agreed to do it because I've never had anything like a good offer like I want on it,
Mhm,
and so let me put this in here. That's Gus Mead up in Washington, D.C. He took it up there and had it all worked over at the Archives of Sound. You think you got to be careful with him, keep him breaking. But I do wish I could find that Decca record. You know, that's history of me and John Edwards.
Oh,
the
yes.
Memorial Foundation and all of their different ones.
Uh-huh.
And each issue there's a copy of them, and all of our discards been a great part of our other things. That's Gene Rich, my old friend.
Mm-hmm. You want to put these back over there, Asa?
Oh, if we have, yes, if you're finished with it.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed.
You're very welcome. I have a lot of others here, but I think that'd be a we'll have some other things like that in there too, but it'd take you 2 or 3 days to go
least.
through it all. You'd come down and spend a week and want to put in the time while you'd be walking the rummage through it. And you'd find a record that I've forgotten all about. Now, I don't use this.
You don't?
I keep it in here for a souvenir.
Yes.
That's all right about that. We can just leave it like it is. I'll pull this out and let a little air in there. That thing gets awfully hot.
Is it spring water you have up here, Asa?
Huh?
Would it be spring water you get up here? The water that you get up here?
No, it comes from a vein. A vein, it's the same as spring water. And of course, this just comes from the barn and it's filtered.
I see.
That's, we use that more for washing and things like that.
Yes.
And we use well water for drinking.
Uh-huh.
And I have the same thing down to the place. I have a cistern in there, and for the bath water, I just use it in the pond there.
I see, yes.
I pump it up there. You can use it all you want. I would like for you to, since you've heard those numbers of Shorty Hobbs, I'll try to find the picture and let you take a,
Fine.
see if you can get one, like a copy of it, if I can find it in there. Yeah, I was when I was a little bit younger than I am now. That's when I started playing in Chicago at WLS Barn. I see that old guitar there?
Really? That's it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And
Could you copy that?
now, that's 1931 when I was playing on at National Barn Dance in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
That's one more recently.
Yes.
And so
Like to copy that?
you can copy that if you want. Now that's what I played there. I played the handsaw and all that. Did I ever play a number on the handsaw for you?
No, I've seen the record. I've got the record, but
Mhm.
have you
Yeah.
got it here?
I got a saw here.
Really?
Uh-huh.
If you could do that, would be marvelous.
I'd be glad to.
I was going to play this for.
Picture. I had all of them on my show. That many people all the time on my shows, on my radio show.
Amazing,
I run that for 3.5 years.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
And where's WLAP?
in Lexington.
Lexington.
Now this is the Muse Sisters there, and I don't have the Sunshine Sisters in there, but my recording partner, I don't know if he's in there or not, James. They made several of these different ones, but
Yeah.
I had 4 different units in there,
Mhm.
4 different units. This is a girl band here, and they were very good. They were from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very, very good. Then I had this group here that played more popular music
Yes.
for the dance, modern dances,
Mm-hmm.
and I played any of it where I wanted to go. I'd try to be with one group one night and one the next.
Uh-huh. You kept a busy man.
Uh-huh. And I'll keep this now so you can get a copy of
Fine.
the Shorty's picture. But I especially want you to get that. I thought an awful lot of that boy. He's the one that done that fine mandolin playing.
Yes, yes.
On Jake Walk Blues, he done that.
That's right, yes.
Uh-huh. Knoxville this spring. I turned all just done. I promised him to go in. I wasn't feeling too good, and I called him canceled.
Uh-huh.
And most of them I didn't even accept.
Mhm.
So then I didn't have to cancel. But I was very sorry to cancel this because there's 2 awful nice people, man, boy and his wife came up, and I promised them to go, and they wanted me there so bad with my group. And I certainly was sorry to cancel that.
But you must take care of yourself first.
Yeah, I had to, and they understood, and they were very nice about it. I canceled it in time so it wouldn't interfere with their program or their publicity.
Mm-hmm. Well, Asa, it's been very nice. I do appreciate
Well, I'm certainly
All the
glad
time
to
you
do.
spent with us.
And would you have a cup of coffee or something, or make some coffee, John?
No, it's all right. If you,
I think you drink more tea than English.
no, in fact, I don't. English
Yeah.
people do, but I don't. I drink very little tea.
I like tea very much
Yeah.
myself, but still, I drink more coffee than I do tea. And
Actually, I wouldn't mind if you got a glass of water. I think that would be okay.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
okay.
It'd be fine.
I know in Japan, I played this number, Old Kentucky Home, and they must have thought it was the national anthem, and everyone stood at attention. It made me feel real good to be a Kentucky. I reckon I've got enough rolling on this score. I don't know. I haven't played it since it was Louisville, about August 5th. I just do the Old Kentucky Home.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get Asa Martin now to lead out here on the song. We do some serious music. We do some that kind of just, we call them fun songs. Don't you think right here, Asa, would be a good place to feature this little scrawny-looking banjo player back here?
Well, it'd be as good as any. I can't get him out here that we can look at him, unless we do. And when you do look at him, you won't want to see him, so come on, Earl Papies. Come on.
Earl, he's complimenting you again. You notice that, don't you?
Earl, what about doing a good number like Dix or something like that?
I'm gonna let you guess what it is.
Okay, all it is.
Excellent.
When you see him once in a while, we visit people all over the United States. And
Yes, I know the name.
He visited me here. He made someone played that on TV on the Today Show.
Really?
And played a hand song. He said there's only one in the world that played it. And people began to write in colleges all over and told them why Asa Martin played. Of course, a lot of people played.
Yes, yes.
Now, And so he had to come down here from California and have an interview with me. So then that appeared on radio every day for a long time. Let's see if I can find a chair of some kind to sit in. I have to have a certain kind of chair.
Shall I bring one out for you?
Yeah, let's
I'll bring that out. Fine.
Do you have the sound on that?
Okay.
Oh. What was that?
Sweet bunch of daisies. Beautiful.
I can't eat, I can't talk, I've been a-drinking this jig until now I can't walk. Come here, mama, hold me by the hand, I'm a Jake-Walk Papa from a Jake-Walk clan. Listen here, Daddy, I've told you before, you keep a-drinking that Jake, don't you knock at my door. I love you, Daddy, but don't you see, you can't drink Jake and get along with me. My daddy was a gambler and a drunkard too. He'd been a-living today to had the Jake-Walk blues. Come here, mama, look in my hand. I'm gonna take a bottle of Jake to the promised land. Listen here, Daddy, now don't you see? You can't drink Jake and get along with me. You're a Jake-Walk Papa with a Jake-Walk blues, but I'm a red-hot mama that you can't afford to lose. I'm leaving you, mama, so fare you well. I'll have my Jake in spite of you know. I'm going now, mama, but you will see, you'll never get another loving papa like me. Come back, Daddy, I'll tell you true. Your loving mama can't live without you. You can drink your Jake, have your way, do anything, Daddy, but don't go away. I ain't good looking and I'm not low down. I'm a Jake-Walk Papa just hanging around. I made this song, it may not rhyme, but I'm a Jake-Walk Papa trying to have a good time. the home I love so well, far away among the clover and the bees, where the morning glory shines round the cabin door did twine, and the robin redbreast sing among the trees. There were brothers young and gay, a father old and gray, a mother dear to shield us from all harm. There I passed last sunny air, running wild among the flowers, in my boyhood happy home down on the farm. Many weary years have passed since I saw the old place last, and memories linger with me like a charm. Every old familiar place, every kind and loving face, in my boyhood happy home down on the farm. And today as I draw near that old home I love so dear, a stranger comes to meet me at the door. Round the place there's many a change, and the faces all seem strange. Not a loved one comes to greet me as of yore. For my mother dear is laid 'neath the elm tree's white shade, where the golden summer sun shines bright and warm. And near the old fireplace